Hello everybody, Kane here today with our little Jurassic World Reborn mod build. So, actually before we get into this video really and I start explaining anything, I want to mention, as of now, I have decided these videos are going to be their own self-contained things. It's not going to be a big park, we're just going to maybe make a couple more videos, just building some exhibits for animals I think are interesting or cool exhibit ideas I have, like the Protoceratops and like this one today. So yeah, if you guys want to suggest the next dinosaur you want to see, I can probably do it. Anyway, getting into the actual video itself, today we're building an exhibit for the Rugops, I believe that's what it's called. A really cool, I think it's an Abelosaurid, so I think it's related to Carnotaurus and Majungasaurus. I could be wrong, people can correct me in the comments down below if you'd like to. But I was inspired to build this exhibit by some paleo art I had seen, which had them in a really cool swamp type exhibit, or not exhibit, setting area, I don't know, environment, that's the word we're looking for. And I really liked that, and I was like, hey, that looks like it'd be a really cool slash fun exhibit to build, and that's what I went with. So as you can see here, after I fixed my mess up with the terrain mods, I decided to kind of do less of a swamp per se, and more of, I guess it's a bit more of like a tidal pool swampy area, so probably close to some sort of, or maybe a mangrove type thing, I don't know exactly. But we have all these giant pools of water here that, well, they're not pools of water yet, but they're gonna be pools of water because I thought that would look really cool. And then we could do some big willow type trees, which I built later in the exhibit. I will say one thing, this exhibit, if I could go back and fix one thing, well, I guess there are a couple things I would go back and fix, but one of the big things I would fix is making this exhibit a lot bigger. I am very used to building with Zawa and fossils and archaeology, where the animals aren't generally that big. Even the biggest animals and like fossils, which are like the Diplodocus and the Brachiosaurus, and with Zawa, like the elephants, they're not super big. So I forget with this mod, you know, the animals are enormous. Like, I mean, if they were 10 to 15% smaller, I would have no problems building properly sized exhibits for them, but I will admit this one's way too small and I only put 2 of them in here. But like, you know, if I was doing this for fossils and archaeology, this would have been a perfectly fine exhibit. Again though, I think that's just because I'm used to those 2 mods, and with my hyper detailed stuff, I like to do with terraining, well maybe not hyper detailed, but the very detailed terraining I like to do, it doesn't really afford me, you know, like these builds will take hours and hours for me to do, which for some people, like that works a lot better, but for me, that's kind of a difficult thing to commit to because, especially like today when I'm recording this, I have so many other videos I need to work on right now. Getting dinos and wildlife park finished up, as well as wildlife park for next year set up, and school stuff for the end of the semester, so I'm kind of like swamped for time. But we did spend about 2 hours building this thing, and I think it turned out really, really well. I'm very happy with this build. Again, still things I'd fix, but overall I think it turns out quite well. Maybe not the actual viewing stuff necessarily, but I think the environment that I wanted to build ended up looking spectacular, and I am immensely happy with it. Actually, I am really happy with the lower viewing area there that you just saw me put in, because that later becomes a bit of a cave, and I thought that looked really cool, and I love how it transitions from the cave to the upper viewing area. I think that ends up looking really awesome as well. Yeah, just a lot of fun to build with. I don't know, it's also kind of weird. I haven't done videos like this in a really long time, so, you know, the whole just, oh, it's a self-contained thing is kind of weird to me on a super flat world. So it might change a bit in format as time goes on. We'll see, because, again, not building a full zoo, so if I want to change how the style of these videos work, I can. Speaking of which, if you guys have any suggestions on how we can improve this or change it up a bit, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see about doing that. Anyway, you can see there, I tried to use the Reborn mod fences, but I didn't realize the electrified wire doesn't actually connect to regular blocks. It only connects to the fence poles, which was kind of annoying because the fence poles didn't work properly with connecting up to the rocks. Of course, though, I realized by that point, I really should have just, you know, made the rock wall be the entire thing instead of trying to add a fence in, but I wanted to throw a fence in because I thought that would make it look a bit more interesting. So yeah, unlike the Protoceratops exhibit, I did not plan anywhere near as much as I should have before starting this, but I was also kind of strapped for time because I think this is like the 3rd video I've recorded today, or 3rd part. Well, I guess the other 2 weren't full videos, those were just parts of videos, but yeah, I've done a lot of recording already. But anyway, yeah, you can see there I'm starting to put in the cave transition. You'll get a better look at that when we do the final exhibit tour, which I'm very happy with again. But yeah, I don't have too much more to talk about, so I'll let the rest of the time lapse play. You guys can watch me build the rest of the build, and yeah, I'll catch up with you guys and show you how it all looks finished. All right, everyone, here we are with the finished build. Finished, quote, quote. I'm sure I could work on this a bit more, make it look even nicer, but for the amount of time I spent on this and the fact I have about, like, I mean, I spent probably a solid hour and a half on this build, and I have, like, so much else I need to record and work on today. But anyway, this is our little Rugops exhibit. Now, why did I pick this dinosaur? Paleo art, like I said in the time lapse. Paleo art. Really, really cool paleo art. So, of course, we decided to go with that swampy theme, and it's changed a bit, by the way, since the end of the time lapse, because I textured some more stuff up, got that texture brought in here, and redid a bit of the, well, I guess the plants, adding in some lilacs back there to add a bit more color, but I think this looks absolutely fantastic. It might be a bit small, like I said in the time lapse, well, one of my few complaints with this mod right now is just that so many of the dinosaurs are absolutely ginormous, meaning it's kind of hard to make reasonably sized exhibits for them. But then again, I don't really go as over the top as I could, but that's typically because with the amount of detail I like to throw into these builds, making absolutely massive ones is just kind of out of the question for me. But I do think these dinosaurs look absolutely cool. I love the, I don't know, I love how just neon it is. It's really cool looking. But yeah, that's what we have right now. I rather like this kind of design of just having the 2 different levels. I really like this. This is very cool, I think. I like having these kind of cave type, I don't know what you call them, viewing areas? I think they're really interesting, and I haven't done one in a very long time, so I thought it'd be cool to do another one. But yeah, over there is the Protoceratops exhibit. I'm not really planning on having these be like a big park, just kind of doing some little builds. But anyway, that's all we have. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you've all enjoyed, and until next time, guys, see ya.